The music industry and these record labels who are not black owned, not at all, they want us to promote the worst of the worst to our community in hip hop. And I remember when hip hop started off, and at least when I can remember, it was more so about party, it was more so about things about its consciousness and things like that. And we noticed a change, when NWA came out and they brought, of course, that's sort of lived reality, what was happening out there on the West Coast. I mean, because it was really happening. What created those issues that happened in the West Coast was racism, white supremacy. And that, California has always been a Democrat stronghold, right? Hollywood, Democrat stronghold. The music industry, all of that, completely ran by Democrats. And that's why more and more black people starting to realize the Democrat Party has always been the most racist in our opinion. But I want you to check out what our brother says about the music industry and what they want to promote and what they don't want you to promote.
Trust me. Just like the brother, I believe it was JT, the bigger figure, who said that the label executives came to him and said, yo, brother, we need you talking about guns and horse. Right. You know what I mean? That's right. That happens. I've been in those meetings with management and had to ask me, is what you're saying really what you believe, so that we'll know how to market you properly? You know what I mean? This happens. Young Buck on his album, he has a song on his album that talks about police terrorism. The label said absolutely not. Jimmy Iovine said absolutely not. You cannot put that record on the album because it might create an atmosphere that might put police officers' lives in danger. Right. So they took the record off, but they let him keep the other 14 songs on the album that talked about killing black youth. So this is what we're dealing with. We're not dealing with a circumstantial consequence of history. You know what I mean? The environment that we're embedded in puts us in a situation where we feel we have to maneuver and play the game and water our message down. You know what I mean? But no, what happened was they intentionally shifted the paradigm to get us exactly where we are right now. Right now, we're feeding the prison industrial complex right now. Our kids are going to prison because they're promoting these records. They're promoting these records daily that send us to jail. You know what I mean? It's cool to go to jail.
The music industry, when you sign with these people, they control you. And I wouldn't want to be any kind of artist and you telling me what kind of music I can make. Oh, you can talk, so you can say the N-word all day. You can call black women all kind of horrible names. You can talk about drug dealing and all of that to black people. You can talk about killing black people. That's okay. But you better not talk about the police and what they truly have been doing and getting people to stir up against them. You better not say no racial slur about any other group. You better not. You better not say no innuendo about other groups or nothing. But you can sit up there and say whatever you want to say. My thing is this, artist, why sign to them? And today, it doesn't even make sense to sign to a label. You don't have to worry about that. Even Dame Dash said that. He said, listen, you got distribution now for free, literally. He said you got all the streaming platforms. You don't need no big budget anymore to shoot a music video. You don't need TV. You got YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. You got all these different platforms where eyes can see your music videos. You can get hot on the internet, book your own shows. Of course, you get somebody with you that's got a little experience. They may be a business manager or something like that. You can get on tour. Hell, you get hot enough, you can headline the tour if you get hot enough or anything. You can, attach yourself or whatever, right? So you don't need the record labels no more, ladies and gentlemen. You don't need them. Why give your talent? And we talking about hip hop and all of that, and it's a Black American creation. When Black Americans have an attitude, you're selling out if you go sign to a record label that is not owned and controlled by black people. That's the day we're going to take back possession of hip hop completely. Yes, it's our creation, but we're not controlling the monetization of it. Let's call it what it is. Just as much as some people feel like, oh, doing this is selling out and doing that is selling out. Well, why don't we start a movement and say, if you sign with them folks, you're selling out. You do it independently. Even Manny Fresh, many brothers said, if I'd have did this thing on my own, I would have made so much money. Prime example. And I'm not talking about music, but I'm talking about just what we do. We have an African Diaspora News Channel app. I don't even have the amount of subscribers on our app that I will have even here on this page, Black Congregation. And I get more out of the amount of subscribers that we have there on our app, that we'll even, and listen, if I have the amount of subscribers I have on this page right now, we're talking about this page, on our app, so yes, independence is the way to go. Because when you're on other people's platform, they can control it, they can stifle, they can control algorithms, they can do all kinds of things they can do, right? They can tell you what they don't want, what they don't want. You know, like on this platform, they say community guidelines. That's basically what they want and what they don't want, right? On our app, it's what I want to do. It's what we decide, right? And that's what I'm talking about. Independence is the way to go. But unfortunately, some of our people, you know, it's hard for them to break out of that sometimes, like with them folks. Sure, because we're so short-sighted, we don't see the long-term gain in certain things. Like it's a better play for us to support our own than just taking the short term. Because the short term, other people would never respect Black Americans until we gatekeep our culture. You know how we gatekeep our culture? We gatekeep our music. We gatekeep our intellectual property that we created. We are one of the only group of people that sit up here and have a whole culture that we created, and other groups of people are running it and controlling the monetization of it. That's why people don't respect us. We need to gatekeep, be tribal, and everything else that we need to be about our creations. And hip hop is one of them. We got to be extremely tribal and saying, wait a minute, we gonna run this, we gonna control this, period. You shouldn't be signing to a Universal Music Group. You shouldn't be signing to Atlantic. You shouldn't be signing to nobody. Black people should control Black people music. Now, other groups of people want to go sign to them, let them do it. When it comes to hip hop, R&B, things we've created, we need to do it on our own. What you need a label for today? Like, seriously, even a star like Beyonce, she don't need a label. Look how much money she made. She do not need a label. That's what I'm saying. Like when you get so big, you transcend a label. Okay, you finish if you signed a deal with them, go ahead and give them their albums, you know, and be done with it. And go ahead and do things on your own. But as long as our people keep signing to these people, they're always going to do this horrible stuff to us. So it's going to go back on us at the end of the day. Stop signing with them people. We can keep creating hip hop, but we don't need to do it with them. It's just that simple.